Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or watching this channel for the very first time, it's called Uncommon Sense because we discuss everyday issues and we try to find logical solutions. Unfortunately, not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. Right now, we're currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope on Twitter. As always, I do appreciate all the support that I receive from all my supporters and all my fans. So I'm going to ask that for those who have not done so, please subscribe, like, hit the bell notifications to all. So therefore, whenever I create material, you will be notified and it'll be up to you to decide whether or not to partake of the material live or on the playback. Um, on tonight's stream, we're going to be honoring the life of, um, of a person known as Kevin Samuels. Unfortunately, the rumors are true that he passed away this week. It is reported that he passed away due to a heart attack. He was a young individual. He was 56 years old. And he was a source of controversy for many people due to his channel, his podcast, and the way that he spoke about issues regarding relationships and accountability without filter. And what was his message? Well, I did not agree 100% with everything that he said in his time. I do agree with the fact that people need to take accountability for their actions, and that unfortunately, certain people, um, especially women, have unrealistic relationship expectations when it comes to men. What troubles me, among many things, is that a lot of the haters are treating his death as a celebration. And they're talking about the wish that he had died a more painful and horrifying death. And my question is, where is your humanity? Okay, these women, these who hated him, and the rest steps and what have you. Um, what about Kevin Samuel's family? And for our parent, it is a horrible thing to have to bury their children. And what about the children of Kevin Samuels? They are with their father. And of course, they love to talk about his flaws, the fact that he was divorced twice, and he wasn't he didn't remarry after the second divorce. Um, Let me make this perfectly clear. Kevin Samuels was no saint, but he had the right to air his views and opinions. And what made him unique about him, he did back up his rhetoric with facts. Unfortunately, you have certain individuals, some women, who are living in their own sense of a twisted reality. So what I'm going to do is I received a video clip that I've gotten from the 18th letter. I'm going to see if I can share it. Just give me a moment. Okay. Okay, so here is the video clip, and it's free use. So just like that.
What Keisha and Beta males are saying.
Let's go through what the Keishas and the Beta males are saying about Kevin Samuels. Because right now, what they're doing online is celebrating the death of a black man. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. This is what Keisha does. But I just want to give y'all the quotes. We got, what's your casket size? Buried in kitten heels. Paint the street in rainbow color. He was probably casket sharp when he was found. He was trash, good for him. Ashes to ashes. It's a great win for black women. And of course, dead at best. And all the man did was ask Keisha, why don't you want to lose weight and act feminine to get the type of man she wants? And not also, it's not like he were calling them. They were calling in to get a rate.
Okay. Actually, I'm just getting a few message. Okay. Good evening, Denise. I'm in the process of getting a new modem. I mean, I did try.
They were calling in to get his opinion, and just because he didn't agree, they want to celebrate his death. Understand, black men. They wishing death on black men if you don't agree with them. That's what this shows. Not if because you did something to them. Not because you did something.
Okay, you know what? At this point, I'm not going to play the video clip. But
just because you disagree.
Okay. At this point, I'm not going to play the video clip. But at this point, I'm just going to give you, Denise, you know, that joke is going to be kind of old at this point. Okay. But let me get back to what I was discussing. The fact of the matter is, like it or not. Hey, Ramon. Good evening. Like it or not, the fact of the matter is, what he was talking about is trying to improve the image of the African American male and the African American female. Okay, and let's. Oh, brother. You know what, Denise? I love you anyway. No, I did not get that more than when I went to college. Okay, so let's not go there. Good evening, Christina. Now, as I was saying, the fact of the matter is this: you have women who appear on his channel, and you have women who made incredibly outrageous expectations. Okay, women who were a 10 where they were like a 4 or a 5. Now, could Kevin Samuels had expressed his thoughts a different way? It's possible. He could have said it in a nicer way. The problem is you have certain individuals that cannot take accountability. Okay, let's take a look what. You know, Denise, if you're going to troll me, I mean, at least come up with some more newer material. This is getting to be a little bit stale at this point. I'm surprised at you. You're usually more creative than that. But anyway, going back to what I was speaking about. One thing that is not known by a lot of people is that in the beginning, Kevin Samuels was extremely brutal towards African American men. Everyone thinks he was brutal towards the ladies. Can he express his thoughts in a more positive way? Yes, he could have. Okay. Unfortunately, there's some people that cannot accept the truth. And earlier today, I was watching a stream where one lady actually wished that Kevin Samuels had died a violent death. And it's like, let's see, what's this? No, we don't have. Okay, no, a little mousy did not mess up some cables. Okay, please do yourself a favor. If you're going to troll me, please come up with some new material. This is getting kind of old. And as far as New York, I mean, it's the closest thing to heaven. But let's get back to the topic at hand. And there was some people asking, well, these people stage? Okay, let's see what's. Okay, this was the last resort as women had to get to know man enough to be able to marry and keep our husbands. The American ladies haven't realized it yet. Okay, and then let's see. A little mousy meaning a possum. We don't have possums in New York. Okay, so Ramon, are you drinking? Okay. Or a dog. Okay. Let's make this perfectly clear. I don't have any pets. Okay, I don't have any dogs. I don't have any cats. I don't have any fish. Okay, and the reason why I don't have them because I don't know how to take proper care of them. Now let's go back to the topic. In one episode, of Kevin Samuels. There was a woman that was trying to divorce her husband while her husband was recovering from cancer. Now, you have to be a cold hearted person to do that. Now, I mentioned this on last night when Christina did a stream regarding Kevin Samuels. And there was a person named the Princess that actually said, well, men do it too. I mean, it's like, why is it? And I'm going to ask the ladies this question. Why is it whenever someone talks about the bad behavior of one female, automatically you got to talk about what men do as well? Can we stick with the subject here for once? Okay, let's take a look at what women today haven't realized that Roe v. Wade reversal is signaling the end of an era when the U.S. pandered to women, and the only way to be covered in the future would be your husband. Interesting point. And let me just state something as far as Roe v. Wade, and I did address this in an earlier stream. The fact of the matter is, I think what happened was people kind of overreached themselves, because if you take a look at, okay, let's take a look. So-called defection that what girl did. Okay, the original decision was to allow abortions to be done without restrictions on the first trimester, the second trimester within restrictions, and no abortions in the third trimester. Later, it became possible to have abortions to be sanctioned even to the point when the child is getting ready to be born. So, one mistake that we failed to do is to provide sexual education and the devices and use of the devices to help people to make intelligent decisions. Unfortunately, you have people who are out there having unprotected sex, and this is happening. And let's see well, at least you're coming up with something new for a change. I mean, Denise. I mean, but you got to do a little bit better, and you got to be a little bit more creative. But back to Kevin Samuels. Now the question. Now this has been a question a lot of people have been asking: who's going to fill the void? Who's going to take up the mantle and do what Kevin Samuels has been doing, which is basically trying to improve the image of the African American male and the African American female, and help people to gain accountability. What it's going to take? Okay, let's see. If women can tell guys they need to be adults when making a baby, and that they knew what they want by doing it, then abortion should also be banned as so equal to all ends. We should also know better. Okay. And then Malone said, but isn't Roe refers to only be enforced when one demographic? I doubt that Planned Parenthood in certain places would be different effective. And let's see what's going. You know what? I don't think YouTube is ready for me to take over Kevin Samuels' spot. And let's see what. No one will fill that void. There will be clones, however. No one has his vision. You know what? In a way, I do kind of agree with that. But what I think what needs to be done is the following. Okay, let's see what he said to say. Denise, I am disappointed with you. Please, if you're going to troll me, please come up with new material. This is getting kind of stale at this point. And you're more creative than that. I mean, I thought millennials were more creative. But getting back to my original thought, I think what needs to be done is that more of the male creators of YouTube need to do our own, play our role to try to project what is a positive male image, and also do our best to keep ourselves accountable for our actions. And the fact of the matter is, there are many male creators here in these YouTube streets. So, what I'm gonna speak right now to the other male creators of YouTube. Guys, what we need to do, okay, and you still have the model Obama gave the citizens of New York when he was campaigning in 2008. Denise, do us all a favor. Get some new material if you're going to troll me. but seriously speaking, what all of us need to do is do our part to try to create a positive male image. Okay, and also self accountability. And let's see what's modern Marco Diablo. Denise, do yourself and do the millennials a favor. If you're going to continue to troll me, come up with new material. This cricket stuff is getting very old. I mean, that's the type of behavior. Okay. Denise, one difference between baby boomers and millennials, at least we know how to change our material. We don't constantly use the same material to troll. So, but getting back to the to the topic in hand, I find it really disappointing how people are wishing such ill will, and they're forgetting the fact that Kevin Samuels' family is suffering a loss. They have lost a son, they have lost a father, they have lost a sibling, they have lost a friend, they have lost a mentor. Yes, he was a mentor to some people. Okay. So, was he perfect? No. He was not. He was flawed. Okay. And yes, he had made mistakes. And yes, he had these demons to deal with. And let's take a look at what's being said. I understand they gave you the Morgan at the hospital when you were born, but
I didn't understand that.
You know something, Denise? It's so funny that I forgot to laugh. Okay, like I said, I don't, trolling's okay, but please do something to. Okay, let's see what else. What Denise else is saying. I find it funny that so many fall ladies keep laughing as they were raised chained in a basement. Okay. as like I said before, um, Kevin Samuels had his issues, he had his demons, but no one no one deserves to be spoken ill will. And that's the thing that you do not do. You do not speak ill will of the dead. Because imagine, and right now I'm going to speak to all the haters, but mainly the sick, pathetic women and the men that could not understand his vision. Imagine when it's your turn to die and people speak ill of you at your death. Now, I'm not saying say flowery things about Kevin Samuel when he was alive, but at least give him the respect that as a human being he deserves. That he did live on earth. He did have over 1 million subscribers to his channel. So if he was so hated, if he was so bad, explain to me why his channel was so successful. Okay, and this is another point. They keep proving Kevin right. He literally pointed night after night how disgusting women in America has become, and his death has signaled in about such how common this issue is among women. That is very true. Now, today I shared the news of his passing to some men, and let me just see what else is being said. They call him gay, however, why these masculine ladies aren't so heterosexual themselves? You know what? That's an interesting point. And I'm glad that you're bringing this out. And I'm also glad that a female is bringing it out. So these haters cannot be saying, well, it's only the guys that are saying this crap. But the fact of the matter is, he was exercising his right to express his views, and he backed up his views with facts, not opinions, not feelings, with facts. Unfortunately, some people could not deal with the truth. And when I was sharing his passing, the female was like, well, I didn't like Kevin Samuels because he spoke ill about women. He spoke ill about single mothers and what have you. Okay, he was just pointing out how, okay, let's see what's, it is said by a pygmy. Yeah. I mean, look, I find it interesting, no, fascinating that women who decided to have unprotected sex with the Pokies and the Red Rares and whatnot, get pregnant, have children by Pookie and Red Ray, and then they get upset that there are men that are not willing to deal with them because of the poor choices women made. And let's see what else. They're just hating on the fact that they assume black elegant males don't exist. They think their image has died while it hasn't. It's just hiding from them. And let's see what Christina does. Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. Well, you know what, Christina. Unfortunately, you know, we all know you have haters. And the fact of the matter is you became a single mom by a different set of circumstances, and we all know why. And let's see. Okay, interesting. But anyway, going back, going back to what I was saying before, I find it absolutely disgusting that how women had wished that he had died like George Floyd. And let's see what else. Oh, can you imagine the type of fall ladies you were talking about? Okay. But how can any female wish that a black man die the way George Floyd did? I mean, you got to be an extra type of sicko to say that. Yep, I agree. So, well, first of all, I just want to appreciate, that there are 5 people watching this stream. I know that more people will be watching it on the playback. And I know a lot of other YouTube creators have expressed their viewpoints. And people wondering why I'm expressing my viewpoints. First of all, it's my channel. I can do whatever I want, number one. And let's see what this is. Okay. That's typically why I stay out of those combos, because I already know I get called a pygmy. You know what, Christina? The best thing you can do is just avoid contact with insane people, because they got nothing better to say. And you will find the right person, in God's time. Just keep a positive attitude. You will find your Prince Charming, your king, what have you. And if you decide to remain single for the rest of your life, that is your choice. Okay. And a lot of women get upset when they talk about the fact that women are overweight. But you know something? And this is a hypocrisy regarding them. They want a man that's 6 feet tall. They want a man who has a 6-pack and make a 6-figure salary. But they expect those type of men. Okay. I'm not saying that you are. All I'm saying is you will find your prince. But whatever you find, it is your choice. That's all I'm saying. And let's see what Denise had to say. Well, you know what, Denise? You're happy. That's the bottom line. And I think you said it very well. Hurt people. Okay? You said it very well. But I find it bizarre when these women who are overweight expect the top men to accept them for what they are, but yet they're not willing to accept them for whom they are. And let's see what's this. If we get to say we don't want a fat man, it is only fair that men get to say out loud that we don't want fat women. Okay. I agree. And what's crazy is women can state their crazy expectations, and it's perfectly fine. But the minute a man says they have certain standards and expectations, they get crucified. Literally, they get crucified. They're fat shaming. They're shaming women with a high body count. I mean, come on. Most people have some type of standards. That's the reality. And what people need is therapy. Okay, so they can take care of whatever demons that they have to deal with. But I do appreciate all the interaction. I do see, and I do see it's mostly the ladies, and I do acknowledge that. I do appreciate it. But let me make this perfectly clear. I'm not saying that Kevin Samuels is a saint. What I am saying, he was a human being. He had a platform. He was a voice. Okay, let's take a look what Denise is saying. Is always the ugliest, oldest, and biggest woman that came at Kevin with violence. Yes. Because you know why? Because he was challenging their concepts. He was challenging their beliefs. He was challenging their ideas and what have you. And when you have people, small people, that cannot take criticism, they're the first ones to open their big mouth and yell, scream, and insult. Let's see. There was a lady I saw insulting many guys on Twitter, all big and violent. Okay. And to be perfectly honest, these women, what they're doing, they're creating a bad image of women in general. Okay, let's see what. Or the ones with 3 baby fathers. Yes, I agree. And then they talk about, oh, you're talking about Big Shirley's. Oh my goodness. Well, you know what I'm gonna do is I wasn't even planning to. What I'll do is I will drop the link, but only briefly if anyone wants to join. But okay, excuse me. Just give me okay. So, if there's anybody out there who thinks that I don't know what I'm talking about, you have the opportunity to say how wrong I am. And let's see what Denise got to say. As a fat lady myself, I must carry herself in the most feminine way possible. Being fat is already perceived as masculine. With all due respect, Denise, I don't see you as fat. And the fact of the matter is, there is one person that loves you very much for what you are. And as long as you're happy with yourself, and as long as MK is happy with you, that all it counts. Everybody else can kick rocks. So I'm just going to keep on going for the next few more minutes. If no one joins the panel, I will end it. I will end the stream. To be perfectly fair, I did not intend it to go past an hour. But the fact of the matter is, I did wanted to express my viewpoints. I also want to give other people an opportunity, if they disagree with me, to state why. Okay? But if you're going to disagree with me, please disagree with me intelligently. If you're going to be getting emotional. And I see we have. And tonight I'm just going to. Good evening, Ramon.
Hey, good evening, Don Jose. ¿Cómo está? How you doing?
Muy bien, gracias a Dios. How are you doing tonight?
Well, I'm okay. It's Friday evening, and even though I myself can't make too many plans for a Friday evening because I do have to get off early tomorrow, but I wanted to take a few minutes and gonna talk with you a little bit because I know that I haven't been able to talk to you for some time. Since of course I'm dealing with my own stuff. I mean that's something that we're gonna address that later on, but I'll just go along with what the subject is. And I'm not calling really to disagree with you. I mean I'm actually agreeing with what you're saying. And it's just that from what I was observing since yesterday, it was that certain segment of the population was really using this opportunity to go in and kind of like trash the memory of the man. And I was I was really disgusted by that, and disgusted and repulsed by that. And maybe it's just my upbringing. Maybe it's just the upbringing that I've had that would not allow me to do such a thing. Even if you disagree with somebody, even if you have a dislike for somebody, if suddenly they pass, you respect that. You respect that. I mean, disagreeing with somebody is fine, but all these celebrations and all the hyena cackling that we have been hearing since yesterday, with what happened with Mr. Samuels. I mean, it's actually quite disgusting. The thing is that the uh, no, apparently the router.
Okay, Ramon, before you continue, Denise, if you're going to continue to troll me, please come up with new material. It's getting kind of stale. Go ahead, Ramon.
No. Apparently today your router is behaving itself. So maybe there could be something else going on. And maybe it's not necessarily the router. It could be something with your device. But I'm not gonna keep going on that because I don't want it to start malfunctioning. I don't wanna jinx it. But when it comes getting back to the subject. I was hearing all this celebrating and all the cackling and all the and all the come on. I mean, come on, all the disrespect that was being heard at the man. And maybe again, like Denise is mentioning, maybe it has to be with our upbringing, us little poor islanders, that it wouldn't allow us. It just wouldn't allow us to do that. I mean, and you can see other examples of people that have been enemies, even mortal enemies, but maybe in a period of war. But later on, when there is no more war, those same people can actually meet and learn to respect each other. I don't know if there can be there can. I don't know if I can think of an example. Or let's put it simple, kind of like when it comes to people in boxing. You have these boxers that may have been enemies, or kind of like, I understand that when Muhammad Ali will fight Joe Frazier, I think it was, they fought a couple of times back in the day, and it will seem like they hated each other. But it was kind of like the trash talking that they will do with each other. But even after, they will try to knock each other's heads off. Later on, when they were older and they were retired, they learned to appreciate each other, and then they learned to respect each other. That even when Frazier passed away, it really hurt Muhammad Ali when the man passed away. And because they had developed a respect, even when they disagree, even when they were trying to kill each other in the ring, later on they learned to respect each other, even when they had their disagreements, even when they have their they have a bit of an enmity, maybe in the sports world and all of that. But it wasn't permanent. They learned to set that aside later on. I mean, it really affected that. I mean, another example that I can give you. I mean, maybe in the early 90s, I don't know if you remember uh, when there was the fight, the boxing fight between Hector Macho Camacho and Julio Cesar Chavez, and those two guys were trash talking each other. Now Julio kind of took it personal, but Macho was being the showman, promoting the fight and kind of like showboating and things like that. But after that, they were cool. After the fight itself, they were cool. They learned to respect each other. What I'm trying to say is that, okay, one can disagree with somebody, but later on one can learn to set the differences aside and learn to respect each other. And if the person passes, one respects the memory of the person, even with the disagreements. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Us human beings, we're supposed to be more civilized than that. But what we were hearing from this certain sector of maybe some of them may have been divestors, some of them may not have been, but they were doing a lot of hyena cackling in celebration of the man's passing. But they were exactly who the man was talking about. They were the problem. They were exactly who they were talking about, who the man was talking about. And they represent a serious problem. And the thing is that these girls actually think that by being so celebratory at the passing of black men, that they can actually get a Sadie, the white Sadie. They really think that that's going to get them that. No, that's not going to happen. Because the white Sadies that they want to get with, they're observing, they're seeing what they're doing. They're messing it up for themselves. It's not going to happen.
Well, we all know that me and Denise, we have had multiple disagreements regarding many things, whether it be religion, whether it be COVID-19, whether it be with the baby boomers and the millennials and whatnot. But what makes us unique is that we can appreciate each other's viewpoint and we can respect others' viewpoints while we might disagree.
Mm-hmm.
And I see Dennis talking about he said Zaddy.
No, but hey, Denise, but the Kamalas, they're not really black, so I mean that's
well, actually, Kamala, she's partially. Kamala is partially black, so that's okay. I think she's like, her mother is like Jamaican and her father's like, I don't know.
Her mother was East Indian. Her mother passed away. She was East Indian, but she classified herself as a Caucasian over here. But you know that label game that is played here in the States.
Yeah.
So that's what she represented. She wasn't representing no black side of the family, because if anything, she would have been like a quarter, because her dad is a mixed Jamaican. So well, they were referring to her as being a black woman, but only when it benefited her. The rest of the time, she represents her East Indian heritage.
Kind of reminds me of another athlete. I'm trying to think who was the athlete that played for the Buffalo Bills, and then he got involved with a scandal when he was accused of shooting his white wife. I'm trying to think, who was that person? I completely forgot. O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson. Okay. Yeah. Well, the whole thing with O.J. Simpson, that was long after he had retired. He wasn't playing anymore. He was kind of like a sports commentator at the time.
Yeah. So
what does that have to do with anything? I don't get it.
No, but I'm talking about a person that he tried to be more white than black, and then when he got into trouble, he identified himself as black. Let me just read this comment. Yes, we would never wish death on one another. We can still disagree, and we're still familiar here. And yeah, but that's the point. That's the point I was making. He tried to pass himself as being white, even though he was black. And then the minute he got arrested,
Okay, okay. Yeah. They wanna be a particular race when convenient. Okay, I see what you mean.
yeah,
No. If you're gonna be one race or ethnicity, be that 100% of the time. It's all about consistency. Consistency is more respected.
yes, but you know what the problem is? It makes too much
What's that?
sense.
Ah,
Consistent.
yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just Puerto Rican. I don't play that whole racial label game that is played out here. Then it got people confused, not knowing what they are. I'm just Puerto Rican. That's it.
well, uh,
That's my label.
well, I'm more simple. I'm just Jose Negron.
Yeah. No. But anything other than my name will be me being Puerto Rican. I mean, hence the screen name that I use. I mean, it's just two words, and they describe me pretty well.
Yes. Well, I'm glad. I'm glad that you're here. I know that things have been difficult. I mean, and that's something that we can discuss if you wish in the backstage, because the fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
a lot of people are going through their own difficult trials and tribulations and whatnot. Right now, I'm seeing therapy to deal with my personal situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, the
No,
Kamalas.
but this woman, no, but well, the Kamalas, maybe they're claiming to be something other. All right, Roman taco mofongo. No taco, not taco.
The
Taco.
top of
That's
the
not.
Mexican.
Mofongo, yeah, mofongo all day. But alcapurria, bacalaito, yeah, all of that, all day.
You
But,
know what?
but taco on occasion, and I live in Texas, where there is like a Mexican food place on every corner, and I still don't really eat tacos like that.
Okay, I just want to acknowledge the fact that there's currently 6 people viewing this. If possible, I'd like to get 6 likes. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you don't have to. I mean, you don't have to hit the cash app, but at least like it.
Uh,
Okay,
okay.
let's see what this is saying. Okay, but I heard it from a white lady that we're all Mexicans.
Yeah, we're all Mexican because we all speak Mexican. This is something that I have actually heard, and certain North Americans say that we speak Mexican. Yeah. And these are supposed to be the members of the superior race. They make stupid statements like that.
Speaking about stupid statements, would you believe that on one day Kim123 actually did a live stream at 7:30 in the morning?
It shows you that he only shows that he doesn't have anything to do, anything better to do. But again, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what's his situation, how he lives, who he lives with. I don't know any details. But if you're in the middle on a weekday at 7:30 in the morning doing a live stream, like, okay, what you doing? What are you doing? Do you do anything? Do you know anything for a living? Like that will be my question. That will be my question. Okay, if it is on a Saturday morning, that's one thing. Many people don't work on a Saturday morning. Many people don't work on a Sunday morning. But on a weekday, 7:30 in the morning, and you're doing live streams because you don't have anything else to do. Like, come on now.
And it's the same topic. And
Oh
now
yeah,
Denise,
yeah. Dennis, I've been told the same thing. I've been told the same thing. I could have made a comment uh, on some thread on Facebook that is actually about Hispanics, but there will be some troll talking about that we need to go back to our countries. I mean, even though we have always been citizens, particularly us Puerto Ricans with our unique situation. Um, that's the thing. That's the thing. Certain folks need to get that reminder. Those that go on and on talking about that they are the aboriginals. There is more of that mentioned. The only real aboriginals are the natives, the ones that were there, that were on this land before everyone else. But there are certain new aboriginals that that they don't want to they don't want to have a connection with the continent that they were originally from, talking about that they are the real aboriginals of this land. Yeah, that's until somebody in power tells them go back to Africa. That's that little reminder, and that has nothing to do with us. And these are the same members of the call that go on and on talking about that. Uh, all of us are a bunch of racists, and we we come all the way here to the United States to be racist to somebody. Like, that's what we're talking about. Like, there are people that risk their lives to come to the United States because they want to be racist against somebody. Some people really think that the universe revolves around them, and they're wrong. They're mistaken.
well, there's also speculation who's going to take up the mantle for Kevin Samuels. I don't
It's gonna
think
be very
anything.
hard.
I'm sorry.
My bad, my bad. I didn't mean to interrupt. Go on, go on.
No, but there's going to be people that are going to, try to take up the mantle. But as far as replacing, you don't replace a Kevin Samuels. It's like you don't replace a Denise Gonzalez or Intro Boricua or a Melanated Knight or a Christina. I mean, they're irreplaceable. And let's see. And I feel Asian,
Uh,
therefore I am Asian and better respected by my transracial rights.
yeah, yeah. You woke up today feeling like you are Asian today. So that all of a sudden you have to change paperwork and shit like that about you being Asian. Okay, which nationality then? So
Um,
what? Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Thai, Lao.
maybe
Which one?
maybe all of them.
Yeah.
Denise,
Right.
Denise, if you wish, the link is there to join the panel. If not, it's okay.
Yeah, come
Uh,
on up.
yeah, but
No,
you know
but
what? This is
uh-huh.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Ramon.
No. When it comes to what you were saying, who's gonna be substituting? There is no real substitution. There is only successors. There is only somebody who can be a successor. I mean, somebody who gonna be carrying on the torch. That's what successors do. I mean, somebody who's gonna continue with what the man did, which is actually quite. I think that is actually quite necessary. Okay, the whole thing about the tongue. The woman that complained about the tone, I can almost guarantee that they grew up. They didn't have when they were growing up. They didn't have a father, so they don't know anything about having a male figure that was stern with them, and they will correct them, and they will be straightforward with them. They don't know anything about that. That's one of the reasons. One of the reasons why they're complaining. They were complaining so much, and they were acting all hurt, and they were acting like such victims before, because some so the
Okay.
director like victims because of that. But another thing is that this may be the type of women that were always protected from criticism, shielded from criticism for so long, that a little criticism now that they feel like victims. They feel violated. They feel like victimized, and they get all dramatic. They get all dramatic because they can't take it. They can't take some criticism, which is something that a criticism to us men that has never let up. No, nobody's coddling us. Nobody's shielding us from criticism and accountability, putting us in our place and all of that. Yeah, I'm sure they would. I'm sure they would. And
Okay.
that no, a little bit of tone, a little bit of a stern tone with them, got them triggered, got them throwing temper tantrums like children. And like children is how they should be treated then. There,
I
I
agree.
said it. Yeah.
I agree. And you know what? And I'm sure I'm going to get a couple of haters. It's okay. But getting back, you know what I think what every male creator should do? It's not going to happen, but I think what more of the male creators need to do is we need to do our part to create, no, to project what is a healthy male image and accountability. Now, the reason why I said not all, because unfortunately, you have some male creators who are not going to do that, and we all know who. But if we can get a few of us, like yourself, like myself, Radical Latino, Brotat, True Teacher, Raheem, whenever he launches his channel, and other male creators, if we can collectively do our part and try to show a positive male image, I mean that could deflect some of the poison that's being spread by these troubled women. And let's see what Denise has to say. Okay, I know a lady that might. Okay, I know. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna read it because I know a lady that might want to grill you for this. You know what? I'm in New York. Hint, she already don't like you and you wanted to report you to, or we all know who we're talking about. We all know who we're talking about. And give me a minute, I'll join. Fine. Actually, you know what? I'm going to be doing a stream the end of this month regarding obsession with crazy ideas. And I'm going to be talking about certain crazy obsessive ideas that people have. And we're going to do an analysis about it. So you know what's going to happen. The haters will be out there. They're going to be typing away. And I'm going to get a few dislikes. But you know what? I don't care. It's my channel. I can do whatever the freak I want. But look, like I said before, Kevin Samuels, okay, the man has his issue. He had his issues. He was divorced twice. We know that he had cancer. Okay, we don't know what personal demons he had to deal with. Okay, and I think it's very easy to criticize someone when you don't know. Okay, and let's see what Denise. You want the smoke, Jose.
I cannot have to give the man credit for what he was doing, because sometimes I wasn't that much of a watcher. I will watch what he did on occasion, but there were instances in which there were call-ins that will call up and wanted to argue with him. They wanted to be disrespectful, but they wanted to be seen at the same time. They wanted to get on his platform so they could be seen by thousands of people. And They didn't want to do anything constructive. They just wanted to argue, and he will put up with that. That's something that I don't do. I don't do that. I don't argue with women, but he will be willing to put up with it for the sake of what he was doing on his platform, and he will go to battle with these callers, and that's something that I could admire. But that's something that I couldn't do because I don't argue. I don't argue with women. But there were instances in which women were decidedly calling just so they could be disrespectful, just so they could try to overtalk him. And there were instances in which it was justified for him to raise his voice and tell them not to overtalk him on his platform because it was his channel. It's very disrespectful. I mean,
Yes.
Those were those instances in which it was understandable that he will seem to catch an attitude, but context is important. You have to see what happened on the whole situation, because so somebody can chop up a little clip and show it out of context, in which it seems like it will show the man being all mad and talking loud to a woman, and because they don't know the context, they don't know what actually happened before that moment, then it will seem like this guy is an abuser. He's yelling, like, how dare he, this and that. But the context is important. They don't know what happened before that. I mean, there were women that will call up, and they were decidedly trying to be disrespectful, and some of them were these young women that were half his age and didn't show any proper respect to their elders. And that's something that I also found kind of a bit kind of like hard to watch, because some of these modern women that just didn't know any respect. They didn't have any home training. I mean, they didn't know how to act.
Okay.
Something with your device.
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna. Oh dear. Let's try this again.
But what's going on?
Okay. What? Okay. I'm gonna have to. Okay. I'm gonna have to go and replace the molding itself, because that's the problem.
No, but that's the thing, because it's working with me. How is it that it's not giving me trouble? It could be something with the computer. I mean,
well, the thing is, okay. Mm-hmm. Hello, Denise? Okay.
Maybe she can hear you, but maybe she is forced to be on the back.
I can hear you.
Okay. Denise?
Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, I can hear you.
So Jose hears me with a delay.
Oh, I see.
You see?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Okay, perfect. It's that Cricket Wireless that he doesn't like me mentioning. That's what's going on.
Okay. Oh, snap.
Okay. Oh, boy. Oh boy, I may have. Okay. Okay, just give me a moment. I'm gonna try to refresh it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. Denise? Okay.
Well, I don't see her, but I'm sure that she is listening. Yeah, but that's the thing. That's what I find curious.
I see.
Uh-huh. Oh, so you're not. Mm, oh, you're backstage. What I was going to suggest is that maybe you guys can come to my channel, and possibly we can. Okay, let's see. Denise, you're muted.
Alrighty. Alrighty. After 700 tries, here we are with the
Uh,
horrendous modem that Jose has over there in Park Shasta.
all
Yeah, but if
right.
it gives us issues, we can
Denise.
do it on your channel, Ramon.
The issue is what?
If we continue with the issues, we can have like continue on your channel. I don't know if Jose is down.
Right. I mean, it's not a problem. I could. Yeah, I can do a quick setup and send you a link if you're having a lot of problems.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It will take me a couple of. Okay, we can keep talking as long as
as long as there's no issues. Yeah, for sure. So how are you guys doing?
Oh, we're doing fine.
I guess considering the circumstances, which you guys have an understanding, I haven't elaborated on it, but I'm doing okay. Doing okay, keeping it together, keeping myself stable on that. But yeah, this Friday evening, doing a little hangout with you guys, which helps. So, how about you guys? How about you, Chica?
I am good. I'm good. This week has been a very special week. I can't complain. I'll share like later on.
Okay.
Later on.
Well, actually, this I have some development I will share in the background, in the backstage. Now, as everybody know, I'm currently undergoing therapy.
How's your therapy going, Jose?
Oh, it's going. It's. I'm doing well. It's helping me to deal with my personal situations and whatnot. And I at times I struggle with the belief that I need help, but but I have to accept the fact that there's times I'm going to need help, and there's times I'm going to need a therapist to help me to sort out whatever it is I'm going through.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's something that because of my situation I have thought about it myself. But right now, I don't think I'm gonna be going through it. Not anytime soon, because I'm just keeping my mind as busy as I can. I mean, so I don't. I'm not saying anymore, but right now I'll tell you backstage. But I'm just trying to keep it together. Try to keep my mind busy. Got back in town, working long hours, so that's all I can do right now. That's all I can do, so I can keep myself from thinking too much about that other thing.
Yeah, I think that's the best. Like the sooner you like return to like what seemed like more normal, the best is for everything. Even like if you're going through like a breakup also, which is the same energy, like it's the same thing, like the sooner you return after any downs in life to like your normal life, the better outcome you have.
I still remember my bad breakup from 20 years ago. Oh boy, that was a journey. That was a journey to heal from that. It took me a couple of years of feeling depressed every day. Eventually, it eventually went away, but it took a long time.
You know what helped me? Like I think one of the most devastating breakups that I had, I took on boxing. And that
Oh
became
yeah,
my project. And in 30 days, I was already feeling like way better,
yeah.
like way
Oh, okay.
better, like super better. Like I think when you start like a project,
Hmm.
I don't know, it helps.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It helps a lot.
Well, this Sunday I'm going to be doing a shout out to the mothers. So it's going to be, it's going to be kind of bittersweet for me because, everyone, that it's going to be 2 years that my mother passed away, but,
Yeah.
she does live in my heart, and, you know, and I'm trying my best to live the life lessons that my mother taught me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Mhm.
I still have mine here, you know. Hopefully for like a very long time, we'll see.
Oh
But
yeah.
With
sure,
God's grace, yes.
Yeah. She
exactly.
will. She will be around for quite some time.
Yeah.
We will see.
Yeah.
Maybe she will inspire you to live to be 80 or 90 years
Oh
old.
no, no, that's never gonna happen. Stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, what do you think about the topic?
Well, I mean, like I said before, I think, it's very unfortunate. Like I personally can give, a shout out to Mr. Samuels for like even like I had the courage to call into his show twice, and the advice he gave me, and also listening to him talk to other ladies that probably had some of the same perspective I used to have, helped me tremendously, because I realized that even though I wasn't that far left, I still had a lot of toxicity inside me, a lot of masculinity. I still do. I think I still do. So, I needed to understand that I needed to focus on myself and also get to know like the men that I love, including my father. Those are, there's two men in my life that I love very much. And I needed to get to know like how they were feeling and the stuff they go through. I think we don't focus on that enough. So I am very grateful that, his channel got to be so big and we got to enjoy that while he was here. And it saddens me to see that many ladies don't comprehend what that man was doing,
Hmm.
and they didn't take advantage of that, you know and they
Yeah.
think that this is like a clap back or like something to be excited about. I'm like, that's your last resort. As a matter of fact, I think I did a video where I call him like the last samurai like 4 months ago, and
Yes, you
I'm
did.
like, if you
Yeah.
remember that movie, and this literally gives me like goosebumps to say, but like if you remember that movie, the last samurai was a person that was not even associated with the samurais. He was just there by choice, like by chance. I'm sorry, but in reality, it was Katsumoto. He was the last one, and he got killed. He died. Even though the other party knew he was right, the emperor knew he was right in what he said, but he just didn't want it to be wrong publicly. He didn't have the courage to actually do what he needed to do. This is the same thing we're seeing right now. It might seem like a very crazy movie, but if you look at the history of Japan, it kind of did change Japan. How they abandoned the old ways and how they betrayed the old ways and became who they are today. Now, years later, like 100 or so years later, we can see how that plays out. It wasn't on their benefit. So if we apply that till today, you guys know that there's a lot of matchmakers that quit helping women. There's a lot of therapists, including my former therapist, that quit helping women. After this year, he's going to be done with this job. I think he posted it publicly. So, and now Kevin's gone. So, if you are not getting your stuff together as a woman and you're not acknowledging the position where you're at, whether you're a single mom, whether you're fat, whether you are rude, whether you are not friendly, you're not cooperative, you're a pit bull, you're not submissive, you think your man is your partner, you think that he should bow down to you. If you don't understand these things and you didn't got your stuff together, I in 30 years, this society is gonna look very, 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 very sad, because prices of things are just gonna go up. And we know for a fact that we're seeing people even in Generation X. Kevin is the proof. This was a man that was not obese. This man was relatively healthy, and he still passed away from a heart attack. Now imagine a lot of us that are being overweight, a lot of us that are not eating like Generation X used to eat, because most of us are millennials and Gen Z. So the food becomes more toxic. The world has become more toxic since Generation X was growing up. So we're more unhealthy. Our lifespan is shorter. So we know that by 50, we will be weaker than 50-year-olds today. We know that for a fact. So what's going to happen when we see men that created a career on just being lazy and mediocre, and women that made a career out of just living off of welfare or just living by themselves, thinking that they that didn't need a man, and their house starts to break down when they start getting natural disasters? They have to relocate out of big cities because they can't afford it no longer. Like, what's going to happen? Like, can you imagine how society is going to look when millennials are in their 50s? Hey, Inquisidor. It was a heart
Yeah.
attack. It was a heart attack, unfortunately. I
Yeah,
think
it got me wonder what induced it, because
I think it was also the a lot of people have been asking if he got the shot, but also I think um the Red Bull, because he used to drink a lot of Red Bulls.
I don't
Now,
well, nah, I don't know about the whole Red Bull.
But
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
a lot of people that
People
have died from that.
There,
You know
there,
that?
there are people that are making the joke that Red Bull did really give him wings. I mean, that's stupid.
Jesus Christ.
Making that joke that
oh my
it seems like
goodness.
yeah, that because in the commercials we all have seen the commercials that say Red Bulls give you wings. Oh, apparently Red Bulls gave him wings. I mean,
Oh my God.
motherfuckers. They actually think that that's funny. Um, but
You know what?
we don't know. It's
That's
true. It's true.
you know what? That's about
Go on, go on.
that's about as funny as a root canal.
Yeah.
No, but going back to what I was saying, can you guys envision our generation in their 50s as singles?
Well, that's gonna happen. That's that will be happening more and more if they don't get back. If people don't get back to socialize in the way that we used to. Yeah, there are gonna be more and more people that are gonna be middle aged and single, and with poor social skills that you are supposed to grow out of by your teens.
Yeah.
By the time you are growing up through your teenage years, and there are going to be people middle aged not being able to interact with other people, and that's gonna be a downfall for a society. Look at what is happening with Japan already. I mean,
Yeah.
most of the people in Japan right now are elderly, and the younger people, they're not getting together. They have split each other up apart, and they're not having babies, and it is projected that the population is going to decline sharply by the millions in the next what 20-30 years. Like a full 1/4 or 1/3 of the population could be gone in Japan.
Mhm.
We're already seeing it.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's happening out here. Like, we're seeing already how a lot. But because, look, the only reason why like we're not experiencing that a lot is because we have women getting pregnant by like whoever dudes, and having like different babies fathers and stuff like that. But it's coming. It's literally
yeah.
coming. And there's gonna come to a point, like, for example, as millennials, we are still struggling to provide every little need for, I mean, not myself, of course, because my mom and my dad were married for a very long time before they divorced, so they had a very stable financial situation. However, I have friends and family members that struggling a lot. They're struggling a lot to provide every need their parents that are aging have. And those were baby boomers, and they were too selfish to get along with another person and form a family and stuff. So of course those kids are like split, like half of my earnings or like a third of my earnings that could be going to my future family, it's going to my aging parent that I have to provide for because they couldn't get along with nobody and they're aging and they need something. You get my point?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so it's something that I can only imagine how bad it's going to get for my generation because I'm not seeing a lot of weddings. Like I think I was like the last in my friends. Well, not the last. I'm like there's like three more that have not married and they're on the road too, right? Well, I mean, two of them are on the road too, but then one is like lingering there in this limbo and literally the other ones that did not got married are still out there being single and they're about to
Yeah.
be 40 in like not less than 6 years.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like what's gonna happen at 50?
Yeah. Well,
You get
I
my
mean that.
point?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The whole thing that there are people that are gonna be remaining young forever, and then gonna be in their 50s, still hanging out, still bullshitting, still going to chinchorros, and
Yeah.
no,
And they
Hey,
were the ones telling
guys, I'm
us
so
at,
sorry. I'm
oh,
so
oh,
sorry. I missed the stream, man. Jesus
oh,
Christ. I'm out here working. I'm over here in Appleton, Wisconsin.
Okay.
oh, look at
ah, oh,
you.
okay,
Good
yeah,
evening,
yeah, yeah,
Joaquin.
yeah.
And
Oh, I
redneck
get it.
land.
You're on the
Good
road.
evening
You're on
to
the
my
road.
YouTube dad, Jose. I thought you guys were still going to be going a little bit longer.
Oh yes, we
Uh,
are.
well, I mean, we're kind of chatting and kind of like
Well,
getting each other's thought out. But it's up to Don Jose how much longer are we staying.
and I
But
wanted
how
to
about
say
you?
something. I wanted to
Yeah.
say one more thing. Uh, that I think I was talking to Rakim earlier about this, like earlier in the week. This is not just for us. Like for example, I used to have a lot of um I got with Justin on my 20s. So of course, like I got from a lot of friends and family, the disagreements of like, oh, like I don't think you should settle down now. I don't think you should, do this. Wait, you're still young. You're a baby. But the same thing I'm noticing on guys. There is this fake promise that if you age alone, you will get to be a silver fox and you will have 22-year-olds at your doorsteps. Well, I agree and disagree. I agree. You will have that if you're Donald Trump. You
Mm,
will have that if you're Scott Disick. But you're not Scott Disick, nor Donald Trump, or Elon Musk, or Jeff Bezos. So if you're not making $1 million a year at least, you
mm,
got to marry as a man before you're 40. That's my opinion, of course. But if you want to roll the dice, because the quality of women, they decrease, unless you're like a very attractive 40-year-old dude or like a very rich 40-year-old dude, the quality of woman decreases, and then you will have to trade off, I'm sorry, certain things that you didn't want to trade off in the first place.
yeah.
You get my
Yeah.
point? So like it's the time is now, and like the older you get, the worse it gets. So if you got to 40 and you're about to get 45 and you're in your 45, just pick the best that you can get, marry and start a family. Don't wait till you're 50 if you're a regular dude, because the chances of getting a decent woman are very, very slim. Very slim.
Yeah, unless you have it imported, you bring it from another country, and you have to do
And
a
even
very
so,
long distance.
because right now there's the Russian scam, the Colombian scam, the Dominican scam, the Mexican scam, Salvadorian scam.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot of scams going on right now. Look
Yeah,
at
but you're talking
90 Day
about.
Fiance.
Oh, but that's the whole mail order bride thing. I
No, of
mean,
course, but that's just a sample of something that has been seen for a
yeah,
long time. It's something that we don't talk about, but we've seen it. How certain people just want to come here and they find a husband or a wife
yeah.
and they just marry that person and just come here for the papers. We've seen this.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
Well, in 90 Day Fiance, that show, you can see that.
They escalated
that,
there.
yeah, that show, the setups are for those guys are a bunch of dummies. I mean, that they're just willing to be taken for a ride. I mean, those you can see that they're not having real relationships with these women. I mean, they're allowing themselves to be used because they don't have any game. They're leading with a couple of dollars that they have. I mean, they're using that as bait, but there is no real feelings. It's not real love or a relationship. Those guys are just getting used for ratings. It's entertainment. I mean, if it was like if those women were dealing with like a total dude that knew what to expect from certain types of foreign women, then maybe the show wouldn't have any ratings, but at least the women would respect them. You can see that those women don't respect those guys because they're a bunch of simps. They don't have any game. They don't know, they don't know what they're doing, and these women know that they can just run game, and they use
Oh
them and
yeah.
finesse them for the so-called green card.
Yeah.
Well, it is a green card, but it's kind of pathetic to watch. I mean,
It's bad. It's really bad. And to be honest with you, it's just I don't know. That's just to me like a sample of reality, even though it's not reality per se because it's exaggerated for ratings. But it's a
yeah,
sample of reality. We've seen this. We all know someone that has gone through this stuff.
yeah,
Either an auntie or an uncle that has gone through something similar. We've seen it. It
yeah,
doesn't get better as you age. It doesn't.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
would, I would like to get Rakeem's point of view, and then
Yes.
after that, we'll start to wrap this up. Actually, to be perfectly honest, this was originally supposed to be a video for only 30 minutes. It's just I decided
Oh,
to
the
expand
divested
it.
modem got him.
Yeah. So what's up, Rakim? Let's hear it.
Hey, what's up? What's up with you guys, man? First and foremost, I want to say rest in peace to the Godfather Kevin Samuels. Like a lot of people, can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear
Yes,
you.
we can.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little distant, but we can hear you.
Okay. Hold on 1 second. Okay. What about now?
Better,
Much
way
better.
better.
Okay.
Much better.
Yeah.
Like rest in peace to the Godfather Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuels first came onto the scene, he was part of the fragrance community. He was doing fragrance videos, and actually, to his recommendations, I bought a few bottles of different, cologne fragrances. And he was an image consultant then, and he was, this was before the Kevin Samuels that we know today. And as time went on, once he, became more familiar with YouTube, he was giving men advice in the beginning, and he was very brutal with his advice. He was telling men what they needed to do to compete at the highest level. On, if you're a young man, what you need to do to be financially stable to actually get the woman that you was attracted to. As more and more women start calling into his streams, he was giving a lot of the women the same type of critiques, but the women was not receptive to that type of critiquing before. He was very honest. He gave it to people raw. And in my personal opinion, due to the type of male bashing that's in the United States at this particular point. The type of harsh critique that he gave men went unnoticed, and his channel didn't really become aware until didn't become popular with a lot of people until a lot of women were calling in and he was giving them those same harsh critiques, and then it started spreading like wildfire because a lot of these women was not used to the critiquing that he was giving them, because in the United States a lot of people like to profit off of delusion. So it's what we are dealing with now is the aftermath of years and years of marketing to women that men are trash, men are no good, and everything is always women are angelic and men are just demonic type of people and different things like that. So that's where you got a lot of the backlash from that you're dealing with Kevin Samuels, because he was honest and he was not sugarcoating anything, whether it was for men and women. On a positive note, a lot of these people, they would try to attack this man's sexuality because he didn't really present himself in a way where they can really attack anything else, because the man was dressed to impress. He was extremely sharp. We talking about custom made Tom Ford suits here, Tom Ford cologne, those different, what do you call those, Cartier type of glasses and different things like that. The setup was real nice. The man presented himself in a way that you had to show respect. So a lot of these people couldn't accept that because, when you're dealing with somebody that's telling you the truth, you try to deflect that in any possible way. And a lot of people will show you that by attacking your looks, attacking, anything that they can to try to ridicule you for, saying something that they find to be offensive. What I've seen in this last day of a lot of these women wishing death on this man, it's been very disgusting. It's been very disappointing. And to these women that have done that, one thing I can say within the last 2 years, Kevin Samuels has lived more than any of them would ever. This man has left an impact on a lot of people, and it's been a lot of women that he's left an impact on as well. He's had successful, matchmaking where people have, gotten together that, have listened to a lot of his advice. And now a lot of those people are in successful relationships. One thing a lot of people didn't like, especially a lot of these women, that he held the mirror up and showed them who they really were. And he challenged you to think, to get off your high horse and think and humble yourself, because so many people are used to the rhetoric that a lot of people don't want to actually take the time to do the self-work to actually improve themselves to be able to get the type of caliber person that they may want to date. So it's easier to just say, this guy don't know what he's talking about, or this guy's bashing women, or this guy's just outright evil. Kevin Samuels have never, at least to my knowledge, have harmed anyone, has did any malicious things to anybody, have any domestic violence type of records like some of these content creators on here. Only thing the man did was give his opinion and his critique for women that called into his show. They called into this man's show. And the type of vitriol and the hatred that has come behind that has spoken volumes on where we are in society today. And I'm just speaking primarily for the African American community. It's been such a warped role reversal that just to hear a black man have an opinion goes against everything that a lot of these people have been taught. And a black man that's intelligent, a black man that carries himself sophisticated with class, goes against the stereotypical narrative of what people are trained to believe. And that's something that a lot of people don't like. So for the people that have wished death on this man, you'll get yours. You'll get yours soon enough. Because just like I said on Tina's channel yesterday, he'll get the last laugh from the grave. Because his name will go remembered. His legacy is already cemented. And a lot of you people, you'll be living a life of misery. And he's accomplished more within the last 2 years than these people have ever accomplished in their whole lives. So, and this is the last time a lot of these black male bashing content creators will be able to eat off the man's name, because this is it. So now we're going to see where you're going to get your content from now, because a lot of videos did the highest amount of views talking about Kevin Samuels, a lot of these content creators. So we're going to see, how long a lot of these channels last based off of that. And that's all I got to say. May the man rest in peace. And that's that.
So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to start to wrap it up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for closing remarks. What I'm going to, instead of putting everybody in the backstage, what I'm going to do is just ask you, after you made your closing remarks, is toss to mute yourselves. So I'm going to start with the lover of cold, the lover of New York, and everything that has to do with New York. The introvert Boricua.
Oh, come on, Jose. I would like to eventually visit New York City, but it's gonna have to be during the summer. I'm not going over there during no winter, having to deal with blizzards, not being able to walk around, freezing my nuts off. Nah, I'm not doing that. It has to be during the summer. Possibly if I get to see the Puerto Rican Day Parade at around that time, I would like to see it. I would like to see it because that's supposed to be the big one when it comes to Puerto Rican Day parades. But no call for me. No call for me. Now, once again, I want to thank you for allowing me to participate on your live stream. I know that the subject, that the person that we're talking about, we're not, because we are from a different group, we're not supposed to be talking about that. But that's something that we could elaborate, because yes, there are the types that were that were having all this vitriol and all this hatred, but these are exactly the people that he was talking about. We already went over that. I mean, I really wish that Rakim could have heard that from the beginning. But if Rakim, if you can check out the playback, Don Jose and I went over that, and I gave my point of view when it comes to that. I mean, these are exactly what the problem is. I mean, these people that are celebrating and cackling, they're being cackling hyenas in celebration of the man's passing. I mean, it tells you something about it. It tells you something about their shitty character. I mean, they're worthless. They're worthless. No man should bother with them. And but when it comes, also there are other people from other groups that were actually paying respects. That's something that I could share with you later. I mean, even white content creators that were actually showing respect to the passing of the man. I mean, white people showing respect to him passing, but a woman from his own group hating his ass. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about these cackling hyenas? I'm sorry that I keep going back to that, but that's what I keep thinking about. I mean, like sometimes when they say, you hear black men saying that they're gonna get their passport and go somewhere, I can understand to a degree as to why. If this is what they have to deal with in the United States, to a degree, I can understand it. So I wouldn't really blame them for it. But again, for the I think that will be all. I think, and I don't think this conversation is over anyway. I think that this is something that we can continue on a different live stream on kind of like a peripheral subject that has to do with this. And hey, rest in peace to the man. It is unfortunate I didn't agree with everything that he said, but Rakim, you and I have talked about that. There are people that don't know about the fact. You mentioned it, but there are people that don't know about the fact that Kevin Samuels was actually advising men. Advising men. You just mentioned that, Rakim. Advising men about their grooming habits, advising them about them getting their kind of like getting their status up and their money up and getting better at life. And he was actually very harsh. But you see, the certain women conveniently are not going to remember that. They want to have selective memory. And that's something that needs to be brought up, that needs to be remembered. And if I were some kind of a tech, a real tech that really worked with was a real content creator, I really wish that there were people that could actually save some of this work, these videos, because we don't know if the haters are gonna try to have the channel shut down. If the channel gets shut down, it will be very unfortunate because this is years of work, worth of work, videos that the man made. If the channel gets shut down, all of that goes with it. So I really wish that there could be people in tech that could actually, or content creators, as many content creators as possible that can download these videos and keep them safe, just in case they shut down the channel. That will be my wish. Because I don't know how to do it myself. I'm not a real content creator, but that will be a suggestion. That will be an idea that I want to throw out there. If somebody gets to hear that and there is something that they can do about it, so that will be very, very invaluable, because these videos, these are programs, videos, this work that the man left behind, these are artifacts that need to be saved, that need to be preserved. And I could strongly suggest, I can only put my voice out there and say to people, like, whoever can download all of this and keep it safe, do it, please. Do it. Download all of this stuff, because I know that somebody's gonna try to have the channel banned and closed down, shut down, and all of that will go with it. It will be unfortunate. And that's it. I'm kind of ranting a little bit. Thank you, Jose. Thank you for having me on your panel.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm going to ask you, Ramon, to mute yourself. So now we're going to go to the other lover of coal, the lover of Puckchester, the closet Christian, Denise Gonzalez.
I'm joking. Well, first of all, thank you, Jose, for having me on, even with Cricket Wireless Internet. So yeah, I think Ramon said most of what I wanted to say. It's very disgusting, what we're seeing today, and you didn't have to agree 100% with what Kevin said. Um, but he helped so many people and touched so many lives in such a positive way that I don't think that boy will be completely filled with anybody else, because he was a very particular personality. So, I mean, I hope, like I said before in this on the stream, if you didn't understood what he was all about, go in with good faith, listen to the message that the man is saying, because in 30 years from now, it might not be there, and the information was brought to us. It might have not been in the package that many people wanted because they were not raised to have a backbone. They're too sensitive. Um, but the message is there, and that way you won't have any way to say like nobody told me anything, and this is just common sense, but as the channel that we're in here, common sense is not common at all, which is something that saddens me very much, to see how this man's image is being treated, how nowadays the death of a black man is a profession for fake ladies, because I don't know what else to call them, right? And when they cannot profit from your death like they did with George Floyd, then they will smear your death and celebrate it, which is crazy, but they will never do that to Gordon Ramsay. Now, like I said, thank you, Jose, for having me on. I don't think I can stay to backstage because I'll take care of something right now, but I would love to do it on this week so I can talk to you guys in more detail. Um, I'm returning this week, and to everybody that's watching, uh, make sure that you like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. I'm pretty sure he's gonna fill you guys into what's coming on his channel. And if you have never participated or watched Kevin Samuels, trust me, you're gonna gain more than what you're gonna lose from watching his platform. Go to his platform and watch his videos. They're hilarious, but also very educational. So thank you very much, Jose, and that's all I got to say.
Well, thank you very much. Since you're not going to be planning to stay on the backstage, I would like to give you a call this weekend if possible, or are you going to be extremely busy?
Maybe I would say Sunday evening because I'm gonna do a show. We can have a conversation. I don't know if you guys want to, like around 5 or 6. I'm gonna have a show regarding Roe versus Wade, and also
Okay.
I'm gonna go over this Kevin Samuels briefly because I know we have Kevin Samuels morning fatigue.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to go deeper into Roe versus Wade, so definitely watch out for that one.
Well, I will definitely want to participate, and the fact of the matter is, even though I am pro-life, I do see the whole picture. And I, as I stated on my when I did my stream, to my fellow born again brethren, don't start celebrating because of this decision, because other decisions can be reversed. And I never thought the day would come when I'll be saying it, but then again, as you get older, you evolve.
Trust me, the conversation will be very interesting. You guys know I don't see things just like the media says them. I try to look at other things, but we'll talk about it Sunday. Okay, so I'm gonna head out. Ramon, I want to talk to you later on backstage so we can have conversation. Rakim the same way. So you guys let me know if you have some time later in the weekend, probably Sunday or if not Monday evening, and we can talk
So it's
some
going to
more
be
time.
6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
Yes.
Okay, good, because my stream is at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. But I have a feeling it's probably going to be a short stream because it's just going to be a shout out to the mothers.
Okay, just take your time. Take your time. Don't worry about it. Anyway,
Okay,
guys, thank you very much. Take care. Bye bye.
good night. Be safe. Now we're going to hear final words from the 18th letter.
Hey, shout out once again to my YouTube dad, Jose. Thank you for allowing me on your platform. Shout out to Denise and shout out to my boy, the introvert Boricua. And one thing to take away from Kevin Samuel's message, it wasn't just directly for the Black American community. He was speaking to all communities in general because of this wave of feminism that has, struck like a thunderbolt of lightning. And it's just sad, man. I'm not going to lie and say I haven't been feeling some type of way after hearing that news that he passed away. I was hoping that it was a rumor, but as time went on, we see that it has come to be true. And just like Denise was saying, I advise anybody, if you're interested, to go back and listen to his videos. It's not for the faint of heart. If if you think he might be a little bit too harsh, I say start from the beginning and watch the videos of where he was critiquing men in the beginning of his videos, and make the comparison there. And yeah, man, it was like I'm really at a loss for words, but rest in peace to the man. And if one thing that you take away from the work that he has left behind is that it was a lot of truth in what that man said, whether it be the positive things that we're seeing, or the negative things that a lot of people are saying about him. He couldn't have, it wouldn't be this many people talking if his impact wasn't as strong. And that's all I gotta say. Rest in peace to the man, and God bless his soul. And thank you once again, Jose, for letting me on your platform. And shout out to my boy, Introvert Boricua.
Well, thank you, 18th letter. So I'm going to ask you to mute yourself. I'm going to have my final words. To be perfectly honest, this wasn't a plan to have this stream to go this long, but the fact of the matter was we had a lot that we had to unpack. And I did not agree 100% with what he said. But if you want, in a nutshell, it's just basically trying to create the best positive image for both the male and female members of the African American community, and that we should be accountable for his actions. And it is disgusting that women are celebrating his passing, okay, forgetting his mother is dealing with a loss. His daughter is dealing with a loss. all the loved ones and friends are dealing with the void that's been created with his passing. And to all those women that are celebrating his death, you all have dark souls, and you need deliverance. Because how could you celebrate the death of another person simply because you disagree with what he was saying? If you did not like his content, guess what? Do not partake on it. That being said, I just want to let everybody know that this coming Sunday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be doing a stream as a shout out to the moms. I don't know how, if people will pop in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give my reflection regarding motherhood and the things that mother have to go through. And it's also a way to honor the women, my siblings who are mothers, and also to honor my older sister and my mom, who both passed away 2 years ago. Wednesday at I think 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a short stream regarding teleworking. Is it a blessing or a curse? So we're going to have a short discussion regarding teleworking, something that people have to do during this health crisis. So again, I'm going to ask everybody to please subscribe, like, hit the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do prepare content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. I just want to thank all those who put their comments in the chat. Christina, Inquisidor, Denise, the Intro Boricua. I also thank the people who popped on the panel, Joaquin, the Intro Boricua, and Denise, even with her trolling. And Denise, do me a favor. If you're going to troll me, come up with new material, please. No more stale jokes. So that being said, I'm going to close the same way I always close. Do not let the errors of the past damage your future. And we must do everything possible to minimize our contact with the mentally and intellectually challenged. Because if we fail to do so, we will be infected by their stupidity and massive insanity. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Take care, good night, and peace out.
Be strong.